Turning 20 has been an incredible experience, especially in this pandemic world. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I'm DJ Psyched, and you're watching the Get Psyched YouTube channel. Let's get psyched about YouTube. Welcome back, I'm Leanne, also known as DJ Psyched, and I haven't posted in a really long time. And I was inspired to post today because yesterday I wrote this blog post called Turning 20. It was inspired by a song by Andrew Yonker. I hope I said that right. And I just wanted to talk about it because it's been something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and it's actually the reason I haven't posted in forever on this YouTube channel, the reason I don't post that often in my blog, and the reason why I posted like one podcast in the last, 3 or 4 months. Turning 20, the song, it's not a song review, but I'll just tell you this, the song is very short, it doesn't have a lot of lyrics, but it completely sums up how I feel about turning 20, especially the last lyric. It isn't funny, turning 20 is just kind of lonesome. It really feels that way, and I know that a lot of my friends are also in this age where they're like 20, confused, and not sure what they're doing, and I just figured I'd post this because it's a step in my journey, and that's all I'm doing here on YouTube and blogging and whatever. It's all a part of some random journey, and I don't quite understand where it's going yet, but like a lot of people say, you should document your journey so you can see where you came from, or whatever. So lately on my blog, I've just been posting these kind of, realistic, I call them realistic fiction. They're not exactly realistic fiction, but I don't really know how to categorize them. They're just these kind of blogs that talk about how I feel about the world, and in a way that I hope is expressive. I don't know. They make me feel good. Whenever I write one of these, I kind of feel a little better for a little while, and I know that's not going to hold me over forever. I just can't keep writing emo posts about what I think the meaning of life is or how I feel about life. But that's what my early 20s are starting to feel like. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I have no idea what I want anymore. When I started this journey, I thought I wanted to be a hardcore creator, a full-on YouTuber, blogger, podcaster, whatever. I'm not sure I want that anymore. And so I use this stuff as like a documentation of some sorts, and also for just fun. It's really creative. It gets me doing something, and it gets me inspired to try new things. And talking about this post, I wanted to start like kind of like a conversation, and I hope that somebody responds to this because, I have a lot of followers, so I don't really expect much response. But if you do reply, do you have this feeling right now too? I just feel like something switched in my brain recently, and I explained this in my blog post, and I don't really want to get into too much about it because it's this whole other thing. But when I was first in my early 20s, I wasn't really doing too well, like mentally, and I think a lot of people experience that. But when I was going through that, somehow the things that I was experiencing that were kind of warping my reality made it a lot easier for me to cope with my situations, because they just kind of drove me to do things. I was really driven to create and to put things out there, and I had this huge energy and just this whole mission going. And when I got the help that I needed to kind of stabilize my mood and myself, I fell into this trap of what should I be doing? What am I doing? What should I be doing? What is worth keeping? And I fell into this weird like guilt trap when it first started, because I had this blog, podcast, and YouTube channel that were so avid to me and that had meant the world to me, and I invested so much time and energy and even money into this stuff. I mean, my website wasn't free to create, and the tools that I buy to make YouTube videos have not been free. So I fell into this guilt of, did I try another thing that is not going to work out for me? That's a guilt I felt my whole life, because when I was a little kid, I would try something, my parents would invest time, energy, and money into me, and then it just didn't work out. That happened time and time again, and there's been a few times in my life where I thought I found it. I thought music was it. I was so into music. I mean, you see my guitars back there. I have a few guitars, and I love playing music. I got pretty decent at it for a while, and I kept doing it, but somehow that being a musician kind of fell out of being the main focus of my life. And I was really excited when I started working for WKNC. Shout out to WKNC 88.1. And it really helped me explore things that I wasn't really into before, like podcasting and making videos. And it totally changed my outlook. I realized I don't just have to do music. I could do a lot of really cool things. And when that kind of started to fade, I felt this guilt of I'm doing it again. I'm not completing something. I'm not finishing. I'm not seeing it through. And I feel that guilt a lot. I've started writing 3 books now. One that I've totally trashed and will never write because I no longer care about the concept. One that I actually really still enjoy, but it's been so long since I've written it that I would have to really, really devote myself to going back into that project. And then one that I just recently kind of stopped writing, but didn't give up on, and I do plan to get back into that because I want to finish a story. I feel like it will feel good to me, even if I don't like the story or the ending. If I just finish it, it will feel like better than having 2 novels that I never finished and then having 3 novels I never finished. It'd be better just to finish it and see how I feel about it. And it's not a full-fledged novel. The first one was meant to be a full-fledged novel. The third one, the one I'm working on now, was meant to be a short story, but then I kept adding additions to the short story, and it's a very long short story now, but I don't plan to go full novel with it. I just want to finish the story. So all of this is to say that now that I'm in this place where I feel like stabled and like smoothed out, I'm starting to understand a lot of the struggles I hear about people who are in their 20s. It is so weird and confusing. It's an odd time. I mean, I have some friends who went to grad school, which is awesome. Congrats for them. And it made me feel like maybe that's what I should do. And then I kind of tried that avenue, applying and thinking about it, but it just didn't feel right at the moment. And also just didn't feel feasible, which is a whole other conversation. But it left me in this place of what is there for me? I've had so many jobs. I've tried so many jobs, and I always end up with this feeling of, is there something for me out there? Is there something for me to do? Is my job just a placeholder as I live my life and find what to do? It's very difficult because the amount of hours I work right now and the schedule I work on, I don't have a whole lot of time to myself. I literally really got to stop filming this soon so that I can go work out and pack my food for dinner for work tonight. So it's like I'm in this weird limbo where I really want my life to be more, and I'm trying, and I'm never going to stop trying. But I feel like I'm in a place where it's really hard to do that. It's hard to do that. It's hard to figure that out. I feel like a lot of people are in that position too. And on top of all of that, back when I was really, really driven to do stuff, I was completely neglecting all the other areas of my life. And that's something I don't want to do anymore. So it's put me in this different position because now I don't just work and then come home and grind all day at my creative missions. I want to talk to my friends more. I really do. And I want to see them more. And I want to make more friends. I love making friends. And I want to hang out with my pets more, take care of them more, spend more quality time with them. I want to do more quality outdoor activities. I want to hang out with my fiance like as much as I can because she's my fiance for a reason, you know. I love her. And so it kind of comes down to this thing where my life is becoming more, you know, more in depth. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's something that turning 20 did to me. It made me value so many random things more. I really value sitting down and having a healthy meal. I'm just so tired of eating fast food. I love cooking a good breakfast or lunch and sitting down and eating it with somebody I care about or by myself. I really love getting in a good workout and feeling accomplished. I really love when I can reach out to a friend and have a meetup and it's like so fun to hang out with someone. And so I feel like being in my 20s, the way I describe it in the blog post and the best way I could say it is, I am the same person that I have been. Like if you like have known me and you haven't seen me in a while, you probably feel pretty similar when you hang out with me. But my outlook on the world, I feel, is completely different, and the way I experience living is completely different too. Now, I think a lot of people start to feel that way as they get older. I don't think it's just in your 20s, by the way. I just used turning 20 because this song inspired me to write this blog post, and I'm in my 20s. But I think you feel this way every step of life. I mean, that's what I learned in psychology anyways. From, you know, your teens to 20s, you feel so different. You see the world different. From 20s to 30s, same thing. 30s to 40s. And I guess it's just weird when you're in your 20s because this is the first time it really gets deep. Like, this is, you know, like when you're like turning 10, yeah, you see the world different than when you were a little toddler, but you're still in this version of the world that is dictated by other people and events that you have to do. When you're in your 20s, it's like total freedom, except not really, because you have restraints, you have to pay bills, you have to have a job, whatever. But you have this freedom of choice, this choice that becomes so scary. What do you do? And in the world of like today, it's even more scary because everyone's talking about entrepreneurship, starting your own business, the side hustle. You've got to, you know, start your channel or post your whatever. Like, it just becomes this whole thing where it's like everyone is starting to realize the 9-to-5 life it's not really living. We want to do more. We want to be more. And since everyone, it feels, is doing that, it's becoming this overwhelming thing of, well, where do I fit in all of this? What is my like persona? Where do I fit in all this? What's my identity? How do I make something of myself the way these other people are? And for me, that's just getting really overwhelming. I don't know what the Get Psyched mission is. I really refuse to give up on Get Psyched. I considered completely rebranding and having a new name, and maybe at some point that's going to be it. Maybe at some point I'll totally rebrand and start a new thing, but as of right now, I don't really feel like I want to depart from the Get Psyched brand. I just feel like it's shifted a little bit. I mean, I feel like the identity of the brand is changing, but I don't want to change the brand itself, because I do love Get Psyched. The whole point in Get Psyched is get psyched, stay psyched. It's supposed to be sort of a positivity, fun, let's explore the world thing together. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to continue doing. And when I lose sight of that, when I'm like creating and I'm like, I gotta make the next best thing, I have something really cool, it kind of becomes overwhelming and weird. But when I just kind of get down to the point that I can post whatever the heck I want, because at the end of the day, getting psyched is all about just getting excited and hyped and adventurous and exploring the world around us and talking about it. That's all getting psyched is. And today I'm getting psyched about the Turning 20, this song Turning 20, which has me really wondering, what am I doing? I don't know. So I wanted to post this short video because I wanted to say like a huge thank you to anyone who's followed me on any of my things. You know, if you follow my YouTube channel, if you read my blogs, if you look at my weird tweets, whatever it is, I really appreciate you. I just hit 56 subscribers on YouTube. I know that's not like a whole lot, but to me that was awesome, because the last time I posted a video, I think I was like 49 or something, and I really wanted to hit that 50 mark, and I haven't posted in a while, but I still got 7 awesome new followers, so I really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed this installment of the Get Psyched podcast, and if you're, this isn't the podcast. I hope you enjoyed this installment of my YouTube channel, and if you're interested, I'll link the blog below for Turning 20. There's also a bunch of other emo blogs down there that I've written about life. If you're interested, I recommend Decaying and Postgrad. So thank you so much for listening. Please let me know about your experiences in the comments, because like I said, I kind of want this to be more of a conversation than just me talking to a camera. How do you feel about this topic? You know, are you somebody who's also trying to do a hustle? How does that feel? Because honestly, every time I try to make something, I feel like I've found it, but it's just, I don't think there's anything to find. I think it's just kind of doing. So that's what I'm sticking with right now. I'm just going to create without putting too much thought into it. I'm going to enjoy it, and we'll see where this ends up. All right. Thank you. And until next time, stay psyched.